How y'all doing? I got a new Blackstone 22-inch griddle here that I bought to take along on my hunting trips, my camping trips, to have at the house in case we have another bad power outage. It gives us an extra item to cook, or an extra way to cook our food during anything like that. So I just got it put together, and now I got to clean it and season it to get it ready for some of my hunting trips. I got a trip planned this weekend, and I'm hoping to take it along with me. So let me get the camera moved again, or resituated, and we'll get started on how to clean them and how to season them. Okay, the first thing you want to do with a new Blackstone is you want to clean it. It comes with a protective coating on it, or that protects the griddle surface and the metal surfaces during shipment, keeps it from rusting out. And all you do with that is just warm soapy water. Now, this is the only time you'll actually use soap on your Blackstone, because the soap will strip off the seasoning that you build up, and that's what makes it be a non-stick surface. All I have here is just a regular dish rag and some dishwashing liquid with warm tap water. You want to wash all the metal surfaces that you can, because you really don't want this stuff getting in your food, because I don't know what it is, but it's fairly strong. I got some clean water here. I just got the scraper that just pushing the water to the back, to the drain port for the grease. I got it on my back patio right here, and I don't think I got it too level. So, when you set it up to actually cook on it, you want to try to level it out and get it level. And then after you get everything cleaned off, you want to make sure it's completely dry. I got the grease trap in the back catching the water. I'll dump it out here in just a second. What we're going to do after we get it dry is I'm going to start building up layers of avocado oil. I do most of my cooking with avocado. It's a high smoke temp, so it won't burn on the grill as it gets hot, as easy as something like olive oil will. And then once I get a few layers of that built in, I will chop up a bunch of onions, a couple pounds of onions. I put them on here and I'll cook them. And the sulfur in the onions will help finish out the seasoning. Now it'll just be a matter of cooking supper. I'm going to turn you off until I get this rinsed off and cleaned up, and I'll be back when I get ready to start seasoning it. Alright, we got pretty much all the water almost completely dry. I'm about to light it and let the heat help dry it out, finish drying it. To light them, you just push in, turn till you click. There's a good bit of heat that comes out of that, so move that plastic bowl. And what you want to do is you just want to leave it heating up, preheating, until you see the temperature or the metal start changing colors. Then you add your oil in and use your paper towels to move it around, to spread it around put a thin even coat on it. And then when it burns off, it'll be smoking. When it starts smoking, once it quits smoking, that is burned into the metal. Then you add another layer and another layer. Usually takes about 4 to 5 layers. Let it cool down, and then you put onions or whatever else season in it. A lot of people want to use bacon, but Blackstone doesn't recommend using bacon because of the salt that's in it and all that will get into your metal. Well, I got the first layer of oil on here, but I forgot to turn the camera back on. But as you can see, it's got a layer of avocado oil on here and it's burning off. So when it finishes smoking, I'll put another layer on. One thing I have figured out though, if you do this, use a better quality paper towel. These are cheap ones, and it doesn't seem to want to soak up stuff as good and spread stuff around like it should, but I'll make it work. You'll make sure everything stays even, no puddles of oil on the surface, because if you got puddles, that means you got too much in one spot, and you don't want to have any dry spots either, even on the sides. My next round I'll go in and put more on the sides, because your seasoning is what's going to protect your metal from rusting and keep it a non-stick surface. Alright, here comes layer number 2. When you are cooking on Blackstone, you want to try to keep the surface evenly with oil to keep your seasoning from building up, or keep your seasoning even while you're cooking. And I do recommend using tongs to hold your paper towel to spread this with, because it gets hot. Alright, this is my 4th layer of oil on it. Hopefully as you can see, the black on it is covering almost all of the surface. So I'm going to let this one burn off. Then I'm going to go inside and cut up some onions, and I'll come back out here and cook those on there to help finish out the seasoning. Alright, I've got the onions cooked. I think I got all my tears wiped away from them. So I'm going to go back and go ahead and fire it back up. Let's see. And then I'm going to put these onions on. I believe I got about 2 pounds. I bought a 3-pound bag and I didn't cut them all. I'm not going to run it on real high temp. Probably about half. It's only been maybe 10 minutes or so since I turned it off, and the temperature's gone way down on it. So that's one thing I was concerned about, is how long after I cook on it in a deer camp or camping situation would it take for it to cool down, where I could close it up and put it back in my truck or wherever I try to store that when I'm going out hunting. And so far it seems like it should cool down quick enough to where it won't take too long. I can put it back in there. What I have is just a couple pounds of just regular white onions. I got some avocado oil on them. They're still a little bit cool on them, so I'm not going to put all of them on there yet. But what this does is the onions release the sulfur that's in them as they're cooking, and the sulfur helps seal in the seasoning and gives it a better finish and a slicker finish. And you want to have enough to cover your griddle surface. Put that extra oil in there, don't want to waste that. And then just spread them out and let them cook. As you can hear, you probably can hear they got me pretty good with the fumes when I was cutting them. Got my nose running, got my eyes watering. And then most people say after you do your seasoning, your best test is to come back and cook an egg on it, and if it doesn't stick at all, then the seasoning's good. If it does stick, then you probably got some more work to do. Alright, I don't know if you can tell in the video or not. These onions have been cooking for a few minutes, and the black seasoning area, as far as the hot zones, are real deep black. Turns a little more lighter brown and natural back over to the edge on the cool section. But as far as the cooking areas, it is black, it's slick, the onions aren't sticking at all. I'm going to put these back in the bowl and throw a little water on here and see if I can get it cleaned up and turn it off, cool it down. And I may come back out here later on and cook me an egg just to test it. I'm not sure yet. These are the full size Blackstone spatulas. But on this smaller grill, I don't know if I'd recommend them. You might get the ones that are a little bit shorter, that are wider. They may work better on this 22 inch. But for now, they'll do. Makes me wish I had some provolone cheese and some chicken. That'd make me a chicken finger. I got my water from earlier. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. We'll have some more hunting videos coming up here shortly. And we'll have some cooking videos. Open fire cooking while I'm camping. And a lot of other things. We'll be going fishing here for long. So y'all stay tuned. And wherever we wind up next, y'all come on, go with us.